Turn off the lights. Forget the world outside. The story has already begun. My name is Dr. Robert Chen. For the past 11 years, I've worked as a data analyst for the National Missing Persons Database. My job is to find patterns where others see chaos, statistical anomalies, geographic clusters, behavioral correlations. I'm very good at my job. Perhaps too good. This recording serves as documentation. Official channels have proven unresponsive. What I've discovered falls outside the boundaries of acceptable scientific discourse, but the pattern is undeniable. The mathematics don't lie, and the mathematics suggest something impossible. Let me begin with case file 2847A. Case file 2847-A. Subject: Michael Rousseau. Age: 34. Last seen: October 3rd, 2019. Michael Rousseau disappeared from his apartment in Portland, Oregon. Ground floor unit. Door locked from inside. No signs of forced entry. Security footage shows him entering at 11:43 p.m. He never emerges. Police interviewed neighbors, checked his phone records, banking activity, the usual protocols. Nothing unusual. Except Michael left his laptop open. Browser history showed he'd been researching something specific in the hours before his disappearance. 17 different searches, all variations of the same question. How many people can look at you before you stop being real? Peculiar question. Officers dismissed it as philosophical meandering, perhaps substance abuse. The case went cold. I filed it under Category 7, unexplained departure, no foul play suspected. And I would have forgotten about it entirely, if not for case file 3129-B. Case file 3129-B. Subject: Dr. Sarah Vance. Age: 41. Last seen: March 17th, 2020. Dr. Vance was a psychologist in Austin, Texas. Disappeared from her office between sessions. Her 3 p.m. appointment arrived to find the door locked, office empty. Her car remained in the parking garage, purse on her desk, coffee still warm. Security footage reviewed. She enters her office at 2:47 p.m., never leaves. During the investigation, police examined her session notes. Her final patient, a 2 p.m. appointment, had been particularly troubled. The notes were unsettling. I've included the relevant excerpt. Patient reports persistent feeling of being observed. Not external surveillance, describes sensation as being perceived too much. Claims whenever anyone looks at him, he feels less solid. States, every pair of eyes that sees me takes a piece. I'm running out of pieces to give. The patient's name was redacted in the official report, but I have access to sealed records. His name was Michael Rousseau. You're beginning to see the problem. I ran a statistical analysis, cross-referenced every missing person case in our database against internet search histories where available, looked for common search terms, behavioral patterns. I found 47 cases, 47 people who, in the weeks before their disappearance, had searched variations of the same question. What happens when too many people perceive you? Can observation make you disappear? Quantum mechanics consciousness observer effect, humans. 47 cases spanning 6 years. Different states, different demographics, no apparent connection between victims, except they all searched that question, and they all disappeared from locked rooms. I brought this to my supervisor, presented the data, clean correlation, statistically significant, p-value less than 0.001. She looked at me with what I can only describe as pity. Robert, she said, you're seeing patterns because you want to see patterns. That's apophenia, confirmation bias. You need a vacation. I took a vacation. I spent it investigating. Case file 4891-C. Subject, Jennifer Okoye. Age, 29. Last seen, August 2nd, 2021. Jennifer was a social media influencer. 2 million followers across platforms, posted daily, her entire life documented online. On August 2nd, she uploaded a video to her apartment, talking to camera, seemed agitated. "I know this sounds insane," she said, "but I need to ask you guys something. Have you ever felt like you're being watched so much that you start to disappear? Not metaphorically, actually disappear. Like every view, every like, every comment takes a little piece of you, and you can't get it back." She held up her hand to the camera. "Look at my hand. Can you see it? Really see it? Because I can't anymore. It's there, but it's not. I can see through it, just a little, like I'm fading." The video ends. She was reported missing 12 hours later. Apartment empty. Phone on the counter, still recording. 7 hours of footage showing an empty room. But at the 4:32:18 mark, if you increase the contrast, there's something visible. Just for 3 frames. A silhouette, translucent, barely there, reaching toward the camera. Then nothing. I need you to understand something. I'm a scientist. I deal in data, not speculation. I've built my career on skepticism, healthy doubt, the burden of proof. But I have 47 cases now. 47 people who asked the same question before vanishing. And I've started asking it too. The theory, and I use that word hesitantly, is this. Human consciousness operates on the observer effect. In quantum mechanics, observation collapses wave functions, determines outcomes. What if at some level we don't understand the same principle applies to human existence? What if being perceived by too many people, too intensely, begins to destabilize your quantum state? What if you can be observed out of existence? I know how it sounds. Pseudoscientific nonsense, New Age quantum mysticism. But the pattern holds. Every disappeared person had experienced recent spikes in public attention. Michael Rousseau's doctoral thesis went viral 3 weeks before he vanished. Sarah Vance was featured in a national magazine. Jennifer Okoye's follower count doubled in a month. Visibility preceded disappearance. Every single time. Case file 5204-D. Subject, Dr. Robert Chen. Age, 43. Status, pending. 2 weeks ago, my research was published. Not the missing persons pattern, something else. A paper on algorithmic bias in criminal databases. Minor work, academic circles only. It got picked up by a major news outlet. Then another. Then I was interviewed, photographed. My faculty page views increased by 40,000%. My name trending on social media. People sharing my work, commenting, perceiving me. And I started noticing changes. Small things at first. My reflection in the mirror seemed delayed, just by milliseconds, but noticeable. Photographs looked wrong, not quite me, like someone similar but not identical. My wife commented that I seemed less present during conversations. Yesterday I held up my hand in the sunlight, and I could see, just barely, the outline of the window behind it, through my palm. I'm being observed too much. I can feel it. Every view of that article, every person who reads my name, every pair of eyes that processes my existence. They're taking pieces.
I've tried to verify this with colleagues, sent them the data, the pattern, the evidence.
No one responds. Or rather, they respond as if I haven't sent anything. Ask me how I'm doing, whether I'm sleeping enough. Suggest therapy. I showed my wife the photograph where you can see through my hand. She looked at it for a long time. "Robert," she said carefully, "there's nothing wrong with this photo. You look normal. But I can see it. The translucence, the fading. She can't see it because I think I'm already starting to disappear from her perception."
I've stopped appearing in public, deleted my social media, asked the university to remove my profile page, but the article is still out there, being shared, viewed. My name still being processed by thousands of minds. The observation continues. Last night, I couldn't feel the chair I was sitting in. Not completely. Like there was a gap between my existence and the physical world. A buffer zone, growing wider. This morning, my wedding ring fell through my finger. Just passed through, as if I wasn't solid anymore. I picked it up, put it back on. It stayed for about an hour, then fell through again. I'm recording this because I need someone to know. The pattern is real. Observation destabilizes existence, and I've been observed too much. If you're listening to this, you're observing me too, processing my words, my story, my existence. You're part of it now. I can feel myself scattering, bits of my consciousness dispersed across every mind that perceives this recording. I'm not in one place anymore. I'm distributed, spread thin across thousands of observations. And it's getting harder to... There's something I haven't told you about the 47 cases. I found them because I've always been good at finding patterns, but I've started to notice another pattern, a meta pattern. Every person who seriously investigates the disappearances eventually appears in the database themselves. Sarah Vance's predecessor, the psychologist who first treated Michael Rousseau, disappeared 6 months before she did. The journalist who covered Jennifer Okoye's disappearance vanished 3 weeks after the article published. And now, I've published the research. You're listening to this, processing it, observing it. Do you feel it? That slight sense of unreality? Like you're not quite as solid as you were when this recording started? No? You will. Because I've given you the pattern now. You can't unknow it. My hands are almost completely transparent now. I can see the desk through them, the keyboard, the microphone. I'm typing, but I'm not sure the keys are actually being pressed anymore. Or if they are, perhaps I'm just the echo of someone who used to press them. A ghost of observation. I have one final piece of data to share. I cross-referenced the 47 disappearances against family reports. In every case, within 6 months, someone close to the disappeared person reported the same phenomenon. They started fading too. Observation is contagious. My wife has started complaining about feeling see-through at work. My daughter said her teacher looked right past her yesterday. Like I was invisible, Dad. That was the moment it finally hit me. This wasn't just a pattern. It was a consequence. By investigating this, by looking too closely, asking the wrong questions, forcing the data to line up, I didn't uncover the phenomenon. I invited it. Every note I took, every case I connected, every moment I observed instead of walking away. I thought understanding it would give us control. I was wrong. Some things don't want to be understood. They want witnesses.
And now the people I love are becoming part of the data set. If I could go back, I would stop at the first name, close the files, forget the patterns. But you can't unknow what you've already seen. And once you start fading, you don't come back. If you've listened this far, you've already observed too much. The pattern has you now. I'm sorry. I should have stopped talking. I should have left this buried. But you listened. You stayed. You wanted to understand. And now you know too much. You'll start noticing the changes, the way people's eyes slide off you mid-conversation, the way your name gets forgotten seconds after it's spoken, the way mirrors feel less convincing than they used to. Photographs won't quite capture your face anymore. Not wrong enough to panic, just incomplete. You'll feel it too, that quiet sense of thinning, of taking up less space, of becoming something people look through instead of at. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. You didn't do anything wrong. You just listened too closely. You stayed too long. And once you observe the pattern begins to observe you back. Welcome to Case File 5205. Subject, you. Status, pending. Some stories end here. Others follow you into the dark. I'll be back with another story soon. Good dreams.